Hi. I didn't even tidy up after the last review. I know I've only just reviewed Prowl, but I got this guy today. And considering the complaint I made about all the TetraJets, I'm like, no, I don't want another Starscream. I don't want maybe a Thundercracker. And yeah, Amazon. Don't ask me how, but I got him for £19.13 delivered. I don't know if he's even out officially in the UK yet, or if this is like a pre-order. I don't know. I assume everyone else has already got him, especially in the UK or outside. But let's just get on with reviewing him. And see, on paper, I was looking at all the pictures and going, the legs are sticking out. There's no top point. What are these weird bits sticking out the back? But in hand, it really doesn't seem that big a problem. I'm having to eat my words slightly, which is what I'm choking on. It doesn't seem to matter that much in hand. Like, I can look through the camera now and I can see, and these are like huge. They seem like that big on camera, but in real life, they're like that big. Yeah, they seem a lot smaller in real life. Like, look at that. You know, you're looking around and they're not. They don't seem that obvious in real life. It's really weird how the pictures do it. But it's nice. It's very TetraJet. I know there is a third-party add-on like tip you can put on the top here, but I don't think you can use it in robot mode anywhere or store it. It just sort of sticks on there for vehicle mode. Not sure I like that, but I only got this today, so I'm not really ordering updates stuff yet. But it's nice. The little windscreeny bit's nice. Seemed a bit weird that the red stopped there, which is where there's a change in the. That's one big panel. This is a different panel, and it stops before this. But there's a bit of a pattern, and it kind of stops, and that makes sense. I've made peace with that. But this bit of silver only being on the bottom bit and not on the top bit, that bugs me. Nice little Decepticon symbol buried under all that as well. That bugs me. But then you look at it, there's no dirt on this whole top section here. There's a little bit on the back, I think, or is that? No, it's just mouldy. See that? That's just mouldy. So there's paint, nothing. So if this tiny little red bit at the back here and stuff. We'll get into that in a minute. So paint's a little bit questionable. Should I add a little hint of red there or something? But then how far does it stop? Does it need to go all the way up the top? I'm not confident in painting that, so let's just not, shall we? But that does bother me, I'll admit. There isn't one on this side, so that one you can get away with, but just that one. But again, it's fine. It's all right. I'm managing to block out the paint damage mostly, apart from that little bit, so it doesn't bother me. But he looks fine. He looks all right. But again, ideal world, not having this stuff underneath would make it better. But Seeker, aeroplane transformer, you get what you're given. So in that mentality, arms, legs, standard transforming aeroplane fare. But it's reasonably nice. One thing I don't think they've got any excuse for, personally, there's no excuse for this. What's that meant to be? This is the aeroplane cockpit, which, granted, I'm well aware doesn't turn into this, like it probably would have done in the cartoon. But there's no excuse for it to just be sitting on the back. I mean, these chest turbines, you could grudgingly say are engines, like thrusters of some variety. But there's no excuse for that, really, is there? But let's just count them off. There's 1, 2, 3. I suppose we'll say 4 and 5. And buried in here, if you can see that, 6, 7. So he's got plenty of thrust, I suppose, but there's no excuse for it, really, is there? Oh, and something I'd never really talk about because I don't care, but right through there, if you can just about see, let's turn the light. Yeah, see that little hole in the middle there between the, well, what are going to be the feet in there? You can use that to put it on an action stand, because that's exciting, isn't it? I don't care about action stands. But he's fine. And for argument's sake, these are the arm cannons you get. Go on, camera. They look nothing like the G1, which I'm a bit... They're fine, they're long, they're thin, they'll do, but they're not really accurate. So you can put those under the wings, you can put them in there, and if you're lucky, you might even be able to put them in there. So it's your preference where you want to put them, but for argument's sake, I just shove them under the wing, because why not? And then you can leave them on for transformation. So we'll do a size comparison, then we'll go on to transformation. So there he is. And there's Sideswipe from RID, Warrior, blah, 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 whatever. And yeah, he's kind of a Voyager, isn't he? Really. He's also a very, very vibrant blue. I didn't think he was going to be this vibrant. I'm not sure how well it's coming across on the camera, but he's very vibrant. One little thing very quickly before we do transformation. There's no landing gear. I know we never technically saw these land, and I don't know if they should land, if they should just transform first, but there's no landing gear. It just sort of sits on this, which is basically the knees and shins. But, you know. Right, transformation. And first things we're going to do, we're going to just get these black pieces and just bring them down, just to get them out of the way. And yes, these are going to be the feet. The hinge we're actually going on is the ankle hinge. We'll get to that later. Just need them out of the way so we can get this chest panel, because it's obviously the chest panel, and just wriggle that loose. Bring it up and bring it down on a black double hingey bit there, just to get out of the way. At this point, we can get hold of the top here, bring that loose, and again, there's a big double hinge in there, which means we can bring this out, and now you got to push it so that this goes into that little notch there, and it will tab in. Come on, there we go. And this peg goes into that little hole in the top there. Okay, all right. What we've done there is basically free up the wings mostly. The rest we can do from here. Now the wings peg into the top of the top piece of the arms in there. And they also just tab around the side here. So if we get this loose, we can then pop them loose from there. I'll show you now. So we need to wiggle that loose from the top of the arm. And it did it on its own when I popped that loose, but that tab piece just goes around the edge of the nose cone there. This, where am I? Tab there. So now we can get that loose. We'll do this side, we'll wiggle it loose, untab, fold it up. And this is the robot. That is a shell. See? All that, which is the jet, is a shell. This is the robot. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm just going to bring this up on a black double hinge in there. Just get it up out of the way for now. And now we're going to basically sort out the robot part. So to do that, I'm going to get the arms, or the big black chunk here, and wriggle it loose. It's got 2 tabs there. We're going to 2 slots in there. We'll do that on each side. There we go. Now we can straighten out the legs. And one thing, because these legs have got to fold back on themselves like over 90 degrees, these bits are spring-loaded to allow that. Otherwise, it just sort of catches. You actually got to sort of push that in slightly to allow it to go further. Which, is nice. It fills in the back of the leg. We'll straighten that up, and while there's clearance, because there won't be later, we can turn the waist around. Okay? And for argument's sake, oh look, there's an action stand port. Yay. Might as well do the feet. So we want to bring out this heel piece. Bring out this toe piece. Come on, sort yourself out. There we go. Let's try that again so you can actually see what's going on. Bring forward the toe piece. Bring out the heel piece. Job's a good one. Okay. So we had these pieces, which are on these black hinges here that go back into where they will be sitting. Huzzah. Bring this chest panel over, and while you're doing that, it will try and bring this piece with the head on through with it. And you can get to about there and make sure this goes into place properly, which should give you enough space to bring the head up. Now you'd think that's it with the head, but it isn't. The head, to lock it in place so it doesn't go anywhere, it's actually this panel on the back of the head you need to pop loose and just leave flat out the back there. That will be a finicky bit in a minute with the transformation. Now we're just going to tidy the arms, which I actually really like. They're quite clever. What we're going to do is get this panel, fold it open, fold out the hand. Can you see this? Yeah, sorry. Fold out the hand. That's where there's two of them, so I can make a mistake doing one and then show you properly with the second one. Fold out the hand, and before we close it up, we need to extend the arm using this blue double hinge piece here, and then close it back up. So we're going from this lump to an arm, and we'll show that again. So just turn it so we can see. So we open there, flip out the hand, and extend this piece here, and close it back up again. And then we have the robot mode without all the extra stuff on the back. It's fine, it's fine. So what we need to do now is split this piece up the middle, fold it round. I need to fold it up to fill in this gap here. Sorry, I keep pushing it further back. Bring this up and get out the way arm up. Now there are these two slots and these two giant grey tabs. Can you see those? There's one, there's the other. Two giant grey tabs. That goes onto those, but you've also got to try and line up these tiny little black tabs there with, I think there's a tiny little notch in between those two. It sort of sits in. It's not perfect, or is it? No. Big groove in the side there, sorry. See that? It'll go and it'll stay, but this is the bit you're going to kind of wrestle with it. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but you got to kind of wrestle with it to get it to go in. And it's in, and it's where it wants to be. Let's just make sure. Yes, good. Okay, everything's in place. And then you just sort of bring the wings forward a bit. And that is Thundercracker in robot mode. And let's just show him to the camera. Who's a pretty boy then? Like, I'm not going to lie, it's a very nice robot mode. Doesn't feel right to me. I don't know if it's just because these are grey rather than white or what. There's something not quite right with it, and I can't quite put my finger on it. One of you guys will point it out to me instantly, so you know. But there's something not quite right about it. I don't know if it's because these are a mile back instead of being alongside the head, or because the wings seem so far back, because you can push them to about there. That's as far forward as they'll go. But even then, I'm not certain. You can, on a nice big silver pin there, you can swivel them. I'm not 100% sure why you would do this, but you can. I don't know if it's supposed to make it easier to transform, but you don't need them. Due to the transformation, the arms can wriggle forward slightly at the shoulder, which I quite appreciate. It's, you know, it's nice. The legs, this is something that kind of caught me off guard. This isn't like a skirt. That's just his leg. you know, because they've kind of got the underpants on all the old G1 Transformers. No, that's just part of his leg. It still strikes me as weird. I know it makes sense and it's quite cool and I do appreciate it, but it still strikes me as weird. And the last bit of the cockpit is attached to the waist, not the torso. So if you turn it, it goes with it. I don't know how I feel about that. There are lots of things I can sit here and pick it apart with, but frankly, I kind of like him. So I don't want to do that, and it's really annoying me. So we'll pop the guns off, we'll put it on the arm. You can put it in the side there. There's the wing, there's the shoulder, there's the arm, there's the hand, and there's one in the leg as well. I don't think... Oh, sorry, and you can plug them into these if you want. But I don't think there's anywhere else you can. There's no shoulder ones or anything, strangely. But we'll put those on there, and... yeah, they're a little too fat, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm just being petty. He's got his big knee bend, he's got swivel, the ankle will go, tilt to there. It'll go forward to there. I'm not sure what they think we're doing, probably the gratuitous gear walk mode, I don't know. Which I haven't tried yet, I might do that later. I don't know. But he's alright. Then you look at the back and it doesn't look too bad apart from that, which, let's be fair, sticks out an absolute mile. It doesn't seem that bad, believe it or not, on the camera, but it's out there. It makes him like that deep, front to back. And it's big thrusters. What's that going to do? So he can push straight ahead. Then the wings would be in the way. Even if you pivot them, they're not going to do that. I don't know what... It's just something left over from the vehicle mode, and they're like, oh, just throw it there. No one will notice. It just seems that that whole back end of the vehicle mode just seems that bit lazy. And I don't like it. But I do like him. And yeah, I know he's got... Apparently people keep swapping him and Starscream. But you know what? For once, I like having a happy Thundercracker. I know it's against his normal nature, but I like to think that's because I'm special to him and I've made him happy. That's my headcanon. You can shut up. Someone's going to complain about that or make really creepy fan art. I'm looking at you guys. But no, I kind of like it because bless his little socks. Thundercracker's always had the short end of the stick. That's why I identify with him so much. But no, I like him being happy. Bless him. Size comparison. Edge Extinction Bumblebee, and because he's here, might as well throw it in. Siege Hound. It's a Prowl Hound. What am I talking about? So he's a fair bit taller, isn't he? Because he's a Voyager. Dear, no, don't fall over. Come on. But see, again, I'm eating my words a little bit because I didn't want any of these, but I was like, Thundercracker. When do you get a decent Thundercracker? It's always Starscream. It's always Skywarp. When do you get a decent Thundercracker? And I found him for a good price, so I took him. And now I've got him. I kind of want Skywarp and Starscream to be his accessories because he's my favourite. He was always my favourite. So Skywarp's fine. I don't mind Skywarp. But Starscream, he's overdone. I'm a bit bored of him. You know? Can someone not have, like, the new Transformers cartoon? Can I just make Skywarp the head of the Decepticons, at least for the first season? And then maybe have him, Thundercracker, not Skywarp. Then maybe have him usurped by Starscream. You know? Starscream can keep spitting poison in his ear and make him go all paranoid, and that's where it starts. And Starscream takes over because he's like, "Oh, I can't do it, Starscream. You be in charge." If this becomes canon in anyone's writing, you heard it here first. I want some of the royalties because I'm poor. But no, I do love me old Skywalker. Not Skywalker. Thundercracker. 3 names, 3 identical molds. Shut up. But no, I might now have to get some Starscream and Skywarp to go with him, but I'm not going the whole route of, like, how many of these guys are there now that they've made? Like 7, 8, maybe more? I'm not doing that. I'm not. If you can get the trio, unless they bring out a dirge or a thrust. Oh, I do love me some dirge and thrust. I've opened a doorway to a slippery slope. So I'm going to disappear and go enjoy him. One thing I will mention very briefly: these elbows feel loose. They're not as tight as I would like, but they hold all the poses, and you've got to put some pressure on them to move. So maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just me, but I might floor polish them anyway just to make sure. Anyway, I'm going to go. So I should be ugly, I should be wretched, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Bye.